Hey, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
Very well, very well.
I'm Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Coach Johnson.
What's going on?
Here to discuss my golfer, Katie.
Okay.
She had that concussion the other day during her intramurals. Told her not to do it, but apparently she just doesn't like to listen to me. So I saw her the other day. She seemed perfectly fine. So,
okay.
But people are telling me that I can't put her right back into training again.
Okay.
So,
when did you see her?
I saw her about 2 days ago.
Which was how long after her concussion?
Probably a day or two ago.
Oh,
Day
okay.
before that.
Okay, so she had just had it when she came to see you.
Yeah, but the typical concussion that I've seen, like, it doesn't match up anything like she looked at.
Okay.
So, like, I guess, and the head AT still told me that I couldn't put her back into it.
Okay.
So, I guess my question is, I'm a certified strength coach, and I can make decisions. Why can I not do that?
Okay, okay. So the biggest thing with concussions is that none of them look the same. So you may have one that's super bad, and that person's going to be out of it for 3 to 4 days, even to weeks, and they're going to be out of it. Whereas other concussions, they may only have symptoms that day or the next day, and then they may be fine, but their brain still had damage to it. So regardless of how long the symptoms last, the brain damage was still there, so we still have to wait the period out that is recommended by the National Athletic Training Association, and across the board is very similar for the amount of time that you have to wait once those symptoms stop to ensure that putting them back in is not going to increase any sort of the brain damage healing that's going on.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
But, she's one of my hardest workers, so she's going to want to get back into it. So, like, if she, looks good that day, I mean, I guess, why can't I just scale it down a little bit and just give it to her and just put her right back in?
Yeah, because you still have to have the progression. So, again, the first stage, once they're 24 hours having no symptoms, they can come in and do, start a light jogging. And if they can handle the light jogging and then they have no symptoms for 24 hours, because again, a light jogging, because they've been doing nothing since they had the injury, they seem fine because they haven't done anything and they've been chilling out and not doing anything. Well, then you start to introduce exercise, and they may have some of those symptoms coming back, whether it's headaches or dizziness or lightheadedness, or noise might start to bother them, or lights. So some of those symptoms can come on because of the exercise. So you don't want to jump them right back in too fast, because otherwise they'll have issues, and then it's too late because now you've already gone too far. So that's why you kind of have to progress them back, because you don't want it to just all of a sudden just throw it all back and then now you've done too much. So you kind of have to progress it. So that first stage is very light running, straight line, just regular jogging. And then if they can do that, and then they have no symptoms for the next 24 hours, and they come back the next day and they've been good, nothing, then you can start doing a little bit more. And then you build up until that day 5, day 6, where now they're doing full everything. They still have no symptoms for 24 hours, then we know they're good, and they can go back to working out as they were before, because that means their brain is finished dealing with it and is now healed, and they're ready to go.
Okay, well, my only concern is that we're on a periodized plan.
Okay.
We have a set plan that we have for the whole entire season, and so we're in this periodized plan where she's doing resistance training, she's doing plyometrics, she's doing everything.
Okay.
She was killing it for a while until she decided to go off and do her own thing. I guess it's her head. She's doing back squats, bench press, single leg stuff. She's jumping off the box. That's all down here. I don't understand why it incorporate her head.
I think the biggest thing is that, to do anything, it's going to require brain power. And so when any sort of movement moves your brain and your head, any kind of jumping, any type of squatting, any movement. Me moving my head is moving, the brain around. So when you've had damage to the brain and you're continually moving it around, that can cause issues, even if you're doing activities that aren't directly related to the head.
Okay.
And even thinking about, because to do squats, to do those things, you're thinking about proper form the whole time and everything that needs to be done. So if you can't, that's still brain power that's having to be used. So that's why also starting out with just straight line, either running or even sitting on a bicycle cycling, because that's going to be less impact for the head and also less having to think about it, because it's literally just, cycle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what can I do in the weight room to kind of help expedite the process safely? without
Okay.
her?
So again, day one, I would put her on a bike and just have her cycle, not super intensely either, but just to keep the muscles going, because we don't want to completely, let everything go. Right. So day one, she's coming back to you like if you start tomorrow. Have her ride the bike for 20 minutes, while everybody else is doing things. She can be in there watching other people too, seeing what everybody else is doing, just in case there are any learning type things she would need to know. She doesn't have to be outside the environment. She can be in there,
Okay.
but she needs to be just cycling day one. And then at 20 minutes, she can handle that. She comes and sees you the next day. She's completely good, had no symptoms over the last 24 hours. Then the next day, you can do some cycling and then maybe start her on maybe some core exercises. We're still not up to weights yet, but still some maybe core exercises that are still going to work the muscles, but aren't going to be like super,
Right.
like tense and heavy on the body. And then she's good there. Okay, she can do some maybe lighter free weights, not super heavy like bar kind of stuff. Maybe just again lightweight at the beginning. Maybe you can do more reps and do lighter weights just so it's not as much stress. And then by day 4, if she's still everything else is good, she can start doing the weights again. Because the biggest time when we see this is with like contact sports, and so the biggest part of that phase is just making sure they're not doing any contact, but they can do individual drills. So by day 4 or 5, it's just increasing the weight over time.
Right.
So don't do max weights, until way later. So just start with lighter weights, and then each day increase the amount of weight and the amount of exercise she's doing until that day 5, 6, when she still has had no symptoms all week, and then she can go back to doing what else.
Sounds good. So if she does in that time have any sort of symptoms or tells her is complaining to me or something like that, do I just send her to you? Or
You can send her to me, and I'll take her through the whole thing and make sure that nothing more serious is going on, because it could be a delayed thing, and then all of a sudden 3 days in she's been doing good, she starts having crazy symptoms, and it could be something more serious that we would have to send her off. Or it could just be that her brain's still needing time, we just got to back off for another day or two, let those symptoms go down, and then go back into the process.
Cool.
But you can definitely send her to me.
Cool. Well, Coach is going to be asking me questions about this, so I guess the best thing I can ask for you is, can you send me, is there a report that you can send me about concussion protocols, anything like that, that we've talked about today, and then you can just send me that report?
Yeah, I can email it to you, for sure.
Perfect.
And if you have any questions, feel free to email me back, or if the coach has any questions and they need me to explain anything to them, feel free to send them to me.
Solid. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, no problem.
You have a good one,
You
Maggie.
too.